you guys. It's me, Dr. Torie. My book is officially out. And yes, it is time to talk about ACEs. You guys can find the books everywhere. However, I would encourage you guys to go to my website, Be VicTORIEus.com, and place your order today. Yes, it's time to talk about ACEs. Let's go, y'all. Hello, 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 you guys. Welcome to another episode of Be Victorious. Y'all know who I am. It's Dr. Torie, and I am here with, when I tell you, an amazing guest. An amazing guest. Let me talk about it real quick first. Now, we were introduced by a common denominator. That's what we'll call this young man. And when I tell you I've been trying to get in contact with this young lady forever, when I tell you it's been forever, I had to call her and say, listen, I do not want to get in trouble not meeting you. And when I tell you we have been connected ever since, this is my girl. I cannot wait for you all to hear her story, not just her story, but all the wonderful things that are happening to her because of her story. Quinn, where are you at? There she
Hello,
goes.
hello, hello.
Because you wasn't I wasn't gonna get in trouble again. Let's be clear. Like I'm like, there cannot be no one busier than me. I swear. There's no way on Mother Earth. But you are.
My family says busier than the president, and I really do have my calendars booked typically a month or so in advance because, yeah, uh, there's a
Well,
lot
tell,
to
tell
do.
us who you are. Let them know who you are. Why
Well,
are you so busy?
I am Quinnetta Daniels. I am a creator and former teacher, wellnesspreneur, edupreneur, who is just doing a lot, and I'm excited to be here and talk about those things and share the multifacetedness of myself and really talk about how discovering all of yourself, including your shadows and your traumas and your experiences, shape the whole of you. And so I transformed from being a teacher to what I'm doing right now. And I mean, I can't say the journey was easy, but it was definitely worth it. And I am honored to be here with you. You
You're
said
saying everything but psycho breaker. You are a psycho breaker.
Yes, yes, I am a
Doing
cycle
your
breaker.
thing.
I am a cycle breaker. And, you know, I would not have categorized myself as that. And my mother has been calling me a trailblazer since I was a young person. So she's been speaking that into me forever. And to see myself being a cycle breaker now, someone who dares to reimagine what success and impact can look like, sort of frightens me to think that that's me coming from my background where stability, faith, and service were often overvalued over entrepreneurship. The fact that I've chosen to carve out this new path with alongside you and some of those ventures. So I can't wait to talk about that too. But one that really merges wellness, creativity, and education, because that's just who I am.
Mhm. She's a
I
cycle
didn't
breaker.
really think that as a cycle breaker. Yeah, I didn't.
She's a cycle breaker. She is a
Yes,
cycle breaker.
yes,
And you know about ACEs, correct?
absolutely. And my beginnings with ACEs started in the classroom and really trying to figure out how to help my babies who weren't my babies. I don't have any children. And so my students were my kids and thinking about them day and night, trying to figure out what outside of what I was teaching wasn't really hitting the spot, to talk about practical real world experiences. You have to talk to the kids about their practical real world experiences. You have to talk to them about that. And when children talk to you about the real things occurring to them, with a trusted adult who's listening to hear, they're going to tell you, okay? Everything, okay? And so I started with restorative justice practice, peace circles. That's really where my beginnings were with ACEs. And so meeting you has taken that to another level. Building that into what will soon be Oasis Academy feels even more empowering. And by stepping out on faith in myself and out of the classroom and into the role of wellnesspreneur, again, edupreneur and founder, I'm truly modeling what it means to be a cycle breaker, take risks outside of jumping out of airplanes, because my family seen me do that. I loved risking my life. I got a bucket list, and there's still a few things on there, including the things that I'm doing now. Amen.
Exactly.
Okay. Um, and I feel that I have this gift of modeling and showing what it means to honor your gifts and honor your wholeness and your authenticity and build something that not only sustains me, but uplifts others. Why not? Why not? And I had to jump out of the classroom to do that. So here we are.
I'm proud. I'm trying to hold it in. I ain't gonna lie. I'm proud because listen, you guys, you have to understand what we are doing here is real.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be my pleasure and honor to walk beside you to help build this school. You ought to understand what's going on here. People have been recommending people. I'm honored to be the jail. I'm honored to say, nope, you're doing the right thing. This is what we're doing. These are your next steps. This is what we need to do. We transform people. And the fact that we already do it, the fact that we're about to do this together in a community where it is needed. I didn't think you were going to tell them this yet. I thought
Well,
you were going to
well,
wait.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay.
Besides that part right there, because
Okay.
I feel like it needs to be spoke. It needs air, space,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and
So
that's
people can
it.
know what we're doing. Just
Yeah.
know that we're about to do some stuff.
Hmm.
Oh,
Okay. Trying so hard not to make my happy sounds. Okay.
I know. But see, this is the thing, you
So
guys. This is
hard.
the reason why so many. So I will share. There is an a method that is been used by our community, and it's the ACE method. It's the awareness, community, and empowerment method. This is another example, you guys, of that method. The awareness of ACEs is what actually really brought us together. Us having the conversation, us having our ACEs score, us not letting our ACEs score define us, us coming up with a plan on how we can make this work. So that's where the community comes in. Let's be clear. I'm the cherry on top. This has already been executed. It has already been put in work. All we needed to do was speak it into existence so you guys can hold us accountable in this wonderful community that
Yes.
we're already in. And then there's that empowerment because we're going to hold you to it. We're going to make sure that the things that you have put into place, the things that you're speaking to existence, the things that are faith based by God, because stepping out on faith is what we have been doing as educators. It hasn't been easy, but we're going to continue to hold ourselves and each other accountable because if I can do it, you can do it. If other people can do it, we can do it. And we are doing it together. So, again, allow me to introduce my sister that has been brought to me by somebody else talking about ACEs. He don't hide his love for you either. Let's be clear. He do not hide his
Shout out to Bestie.
love. Just like he don't hide his love about his big sister. Let's be clear. Mentions my name in every room. And I
Yes.
think this collaborative opportunity was great for both of us. Now let me put a pause in it again, you guys, for you all. She really did not tell you all everything. I think one of the wonderful things that I love is that she's also a podcast host.
I am.
So let's be clear. This is what we're doing. The added value of the individuals that are coming into the community is the reason why the ACEs this is going. It is going. It's spreading so fast, and I don't want it to stop because we have so many people that are willing to stand up and have
Yeah.
this conversation.
And I'm so humbled, and I'm really modest. I knew you were going to ask me about myself, but I still didn't feel, when you are coming through traumas that make you feel as though your value is not worthy in that space, you suffer with imposter syndrome and you feel like you are not meant to fill up that space when you're absolutely meant to fill up the space and bring your authenticity and your uniqueness in there. And so I knew you would pull this out of me. And I did think about what I would say, but I still am being stretched in that area because it is one that makes me prefer behind the scenes
Mhm,
in any case outside of the classroom.
mhm,
And so I am proud to say that I have started many businesses,
mhm,
and amongst them is Synergy Oasis Holistic Core, where we are creating, yes, wellness tools for folks, including our mother loving puberty affirmation cards and journal for new moms that are facing postpartum. I had sisters giving birth at the same time, and that just made me tap into a new other side of me that I didn't know existed, making affirmations for myself, turn into making affirmations for my siblings, turn into making affirmations for others who might need them. And from there, I mean, I said I was going to talk about the other thing, and so I'm not, but I do have Oasis Try with the Vibe podcast, and I'm excited to have you on it
mhm. On.
because sharing stories and building community
Mhm.
is what brings healing.
Yep.
When you are in isolation, and when you are feeling like, again, your voice is not heard, you're muted, you don't find any belonging in any space, including the school you're in,
Mm,
the home you're residing in,
mm,
where else can you go? There are other places on social platforms, but
mm.
social platforms have become so toxic, it's not actually helping our mental health and our well being. So I really hope that with what you're doing, what I'm doing, and with what other wellness organizations and counseling and therapy, everyone in the wellness space is doing, we are redefining what that looks like for
Yep.
other folks. And we've
Yes.
been championing this since before the pandemic. I'm just
Mhm.
glad that the rest of the world is in alignment with us and
Yeah.
understanding that if we don't talk about what is ailing us, they will continue to ail us, and we won't be helping the next generation because they absolutely, absolutely are watching us, hearing us, and all the things that we're not saying is what they're doing. And I had to learn that on my own, seeing folks deal with trauma around me as a young person. I was like, oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And
Because you
although,
you you maybe you didn't know at that time that was ACEs, but you got an ACEs score.
correct, correct. I'm the first one in my immediate family to go to and through college.
Really?
Get my master's before I was 24,
Wow.
before I was 30, I'm sorry, own my own home before I was 24.
Wow.
And now I am turning surviving into thriving.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that alone is a legacy that is unheard of, at least with my parents and again with my immediate family. I can go back to my ancestors who were enslaved. So
Mm-hmm.
my great grandmother, who I'm named after, was a slave.
Mm-hmm.
So
And these
yeah,
are the conversations we have to have, Quinn.
yes,
This is it. This is the
yes,
reason why I tell people in my book, I don't cut. You know how some people cut to like chapter 7 to say what they need to say? Nope. I said, hello, how are
off
you?
riff.
Here I am, chapter 2. Let's talk about your generational trauma. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what's going on because let's cut the fluff.
Yeah, Yes.
And we're humbled to be in a situation where we don't have that anymore, but we still need the generations to know that it took for that to happen for us to get here. The what goes on in your house, stay in your house. They're not doing that in 2025 no more, y'all. It
Yes.
has a name to it though.
Yes.
So I
And
think that's what it is for me. Like
yes,
the community violence that's going on in Chicago. Your president is bullying your people.
but Chicago has risen up. Have you seen it? I love it. I love how Chicago, like, let me take my earrings off. Hold my drink, please.
Oh, I
So
feel
we can show you that
proud.
we're not playing out here in these
And I
streets.
love it because I
Don't play with
actually
us and our
advocate.
freedom, okay?
Okay, because I
Mm-mm.
support it. Let's
Yes,
be clear. Don't quit
yes,
trying to put us out there like Chicago is this big hub for crime when actually the numbers haven't went down tremendously.
yes. Yes. But we're also raising children who are living their lives through screens
Hmm.
and are also living to not express what they are feeling, what they are going through or experiencing. And the more we have spaces like this where we get to talk, the more we allow space to talk and stop demonizing therapy or however term we want to use it. You know, I mean, counseling, therapy at the church, outside the church, with pastors outside. I mean, it does not matter what you name it. We need to speak to someone. We need to have an outlet
And I think that's
outside of your social media handle.
Absolutely. I think so too. And I think that's the reason why, for me, these community circles are working. You know what I mean? We tried to do the community circles and tried and was very successful in doing them virtually. So we're going to do some virtually for sure. But having the community circles in the community is going to give those that are afraid of therapy or afraid of next steps the
Yes.
idea of knowing that it's out there. Because
Yes.
as you know, it's plenty of coaches,
Yes.
plenty of therapists, plenty of I'm a transformational leadership coach. I'm a mentor. I'm out here. I'm there. What do I call my the Queen of Aces? I got that title just a few minutes ago. Let's be clear. I loved it. So you have to understand it's out here. We gotta just keep doing what we need to do.
And creating new paths. You're
Mhm.
creating job titles that haven't even existed yet. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Just to create a lane for us to acknowledge our existence. That's the problem. We've
Mhm.
lived in a country that has never acknowledged our existence
Mhm.
and never
That's the
allowed
reason why it's
us
the
to
ace.
acknowledge our existence. Exactly.
That's why we having this conversation. So again, my sister, this is the reason why. What I love is even you saying like giving the term cycle breaking. I think that's the reason why the series is going so well. I will share. Marv has been there, of course, since day one. He believed in me since day one. We're over episode 80. You know what I mean? Because I think people are really understanding what ACEs are, how much of an impact it has as adults. You know, me, I'm a nerd. I didn't combine the ACEs with something because you have to. Those case studies are real. Those examples are real. It's the reason why you have stepped out on faith.
Can I just say it's because of you that I was able to take the ACEs quiz with my mother? And I will say, as she was reading through each question, because it's layered, because experiences and trauma is an onion. And I told her that I was like, Mama, because it's not just one thing, you know. But we went through it together, and she wasn't shocked by her score. And, for the sake of not telling her business, I won't say anything, but I'm gonna tell
Right.
mine.
Mhm.
She was shocked by mine. Um, More so because it wasn't the same as hers,
Exactly.
given our home situation. Yes, she did raise me with a village, in a warm, nurturing home. I have the best mother in the bleeping world, okay?
Hmm.
Best mother ever. But her score was lower to mine. So she was expecting that, we had similar experiences.
Yeah.
However, my parents don't live together, never been married. So I have completely different experiences being with him every weekend, every holiday, every chance that I could get. And so I'm saying thanks to you because you opened a window for a conversation with my mom and I, for me to finally share with her some things that I never shared with her because for fear, oh, you're never gonna let me see my dad again. I'm never gonna get to see my siblings again. I won't get to see that side of my family. And oh my gosh, that's like half of me. I knew that even as a child that sorry, my Darth Vader, like just clicked off and I'm sure y'all don't care, but it's a clapper.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So if I
figured.
clap my hands together, da, da, da. But I knew even as a child that if I told her what my experiences were, that they would be poor enough that she'd be like, "Oh no, you're not going back there." And
Hmm.
so to a degree, I had to also go through therapy with my decision to continue to go into the traumatic environment just for the sake of a relationship. What do we do
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
I, as a child, made that decision that I know I'm going back into somewhere that I'm going to have to get therapy for. I'm going to go talk to
Hmm.
somebody
Hmm.
after this. I made that decision and I am adult living through that, healing through that, healed now, continuing to become, acknowledging that even as a young person, if you
I
talk
want
to
you to
kids, they
quit
will tell
saying,
you.
I want you to call the word what it is. Living as a cycle breaker.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
Because
Yes.
that's what
Living
you
as a cycle
are.
breaker. Yes.
That is
Yeah.
exactly who you are.
Always been in me. You're right.
So you talked about
From
you
a
talked
young
about the
person.
ACEs, you talked about the ACEs score.
Yeah.
You talked about how you introduced ACEs to your family.
Yeah.
And the introduction of ACEs to your family allowed you to open up a lot more. Just imagine your inner child happy because we weren't able to do that when we were younger. It was stay in a grown folks' place or, stay at a grown folks' business. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah.
you better be in that room, but don't you say a thing. And I only share this with in safe spaces. I used to be hiding in the closet, girl. Okay. If you couldn't find me, go to your nearest closet and I'm there with the book.
Yep.
The moment I was given some headphones, I had some Sony Walkman that I stayed within. So then you
Mm,
kept me with music of some sort. So
me too.
I found a way to self-soothe, right? I found a way to cope.
Yeah.
But you are absolutely spot on about that. And not given a space for my voice. It was very hard for me to find my voice. It took me a very long time. And who wants to spend the majority of your happiest times in your young adult life in your teenhood trying to figure out what your voice is?
Exactly. That's my story though. Like, what's interesting is, and I'm sharing this with you, I don't share it with a lot of people. Do you know I used to sing for real? I mean, I was in six choirs, I was on tour, I got EPs, APs, CDs for real, because that's how I poured. That's how I got all of mine out. And it's interesting. It was that disconnect that brought me back to it. So I don't sing anymore, but I get a place to do it besides my bathroom at church. I swear, man, when I tell you I can sing as loud as I can, I be in there just going off and don't care who hear me. But it's the fact that my inner child is like, because I
You
used to sing.
You can't sing at the end of each episode, say a little hum, say a little
I
da da
do.
da.
Oh, I do all the time. I do. I'm like, be victorious. I do
Yeah,
all.
but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm
I
talking about.
want to. And Quinn, it's gonna take somebody like you, honestly, to pour it out of me. Let's be clear,
Mm.
because I sing, like sing,
Okay.
sing, sing, sing. Like I sung in weddings,
Okay.
sung in choir, sung this, but I,
Challenge received for OTWV podcast, and
okay,
you're on there.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Challenge
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun
received.
because I'm telling you, I like even with extracurricular activity. So, my strength is ACEs and connecting it with
Yes.
extracurricular activity. I think that's the resilience tool that I am used to in favor. And
Mhm.
when I tell you a gospel choir was mandatory everywhere, I went everywhere saying. I will tell you now, and my friends know I was the president, the singer, the everywhere after school activities at school at every school that I was at. Let's be clear. Shout out to my nephew Jahari McGee, who is killing the game in the Chicagoland area. Yup, he was mine's first
Yeah.
choir sing because I
I am having
honestly
a
feel,
hard time seeing this.
honey,
I
baby,
hope when you air this, you also put in the little corner just an old video of you singing or something because
I'm telling you, I used to do it.
that's
I went to, but
fantastic.
the crazy thing is, I went to a performing art high school. That was my major. I had a double major,
Okay.
and I also played. I had first chair. Now I talk about this all the time. I had first chair, um, alto saxophone. Swear. So musically inclined, hands down. But I think that that's a resiliency tool that we
Yes.
overlook
Yes.
being in schools. We overlook the resiliency tools. We are putting kids out of classrooms because they don't have papers and pencils when there are other things that are going on.
Listen, this was in your belly when they pulled the arts out of the schools. Let's be honest.
Yep.
You took
Mhm.
away outlets for anyone when you took away the arts. What
Yep.
were you doing? And to think that they're shocked that we're here right now
Hmm.
sounds preposterous because
Hmm.
you took away all the things that were quintessential to cultivating a well-rounded human being who can be a functioning adult who understands their position as a citizen in the world.
Hmm. Well, what's interesting is, and I'll share with the audience, the school that I was at is a school that she graduated from. So let's also shout that out.
Shout
Because
out to Torie.
imagine me on Saturdays listening to the students saying, "How can I help?" And them saying, "Okay, let's we need something to do on the weekends," and me having 3-on-3 basketball tournaments to keep the kids off the streets, or
Yes.
slumber parties. Swear to God, in the school, I mean,
Yes, I love
literally,
lock-ins.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
that type of thing for the students because it was so needed. You grew up in so again, you talked about
Yes.
your ACEs score, you talked about what you've done with your family and how you've brought this awareness to your family. We've shared how you were raised in a community with ACEs. Quinn has ACEs, you guys. She's not hiding it. It's
Mm-mm.
her being the cycle breaker that you guys have to understand that's helping you grow
Yes.
personally and professionally. So tell us more about your ACEs score and that understanding. How is it helping you grow?
Hmm. That's a wonderful question.
Hmm.
Um, it is helping me create moments to give people permission to pause, to be, to breathe, and connect in community. It's pushing me out of my comfort zone. I'm really not, again, I would prefer to be behind the scenes. But I understand that in order for other folks to get healing, I have to speak. I have to share my story. I have to share my experiences and bring voice and truth to my journey. I
Hmm.
just I can't preach and say that there is healing in community and there is growth in sharing and then don't do it. That doesn't even
Mhm.
make any sense. That's insanity.
Mhm.
And that's torture. And I, for one, do not like pain.
Mhm.
Uh, though I am used to dealing with body chronic pain that I understand is also environmental, and that is trauma, and trauma is resting in my body. And
Mhm.
I'm working on that. That's part of my practices and tools that are helping me as I learn this path for myself. It has definitely been a self-taught thing because as I'm evolving and changing, the things that are helping me deal with triggers and trauma has also changed and grown. I was really journaling when I was a younger person. And not that I don't journal anymore, that journaling just turned into the podcast now. And I get to
Right.
talk to folks,
Right.
it's evolved. And what's funny is I remember teaching students in my classroom how to create podcasts and vlogs and blogs so that they would be ready for the new age careers.
Mhm. So let
And
me
then never
put
thought to
a
do it myself. What are we doing? What?
this is let me put a pause, and this is what I was talking to. I've been talking to my producer about you. He just didn't know it was you because when I tell you, I worked with an organization down here in Dallas, and this organization was heavy on male mentorship. It was Omega Gents down here, and they were extremely interested in podcasting, extremely interested because for what you just said, it was a way for people to express their feelings, to talk, to, say things, to get it out instead of journaling, just speaking their thoughts and not
Absolutely.
holding it in. And someone that's heavy on working with neurodivergent students.
Mhm.
Special education has always been my thing,
Always,
always. And I
always.
think that's the reason why ACEs is heavy on me because those acronyms, behavior disorder is real. Those kids really don't have a behavior disorder, but I beg to differ. Those that have emotionally disturbed ED, they don't want to be that way. They can't help that. So that was my thing in regards, just so you know, the ACEs acronym. I think it needs to be used in the right place. And I think it does need to be a part of special education. And I will let you know that that's where the research, that's where the acronym, that is the reason why I'm trying to place the emphasis on it because it's out there.
Yes.
People talk about ACEs all the time in the right communities. It's not talked about in our community.
Correct. And the more we normalize it, the better it will be digested and received. And generationally, we'll see the statistics that have once plagued our communities will no longer be
Mm.
because we will stop hiding behind keeping your business in house. And my parents are of the sweep it under the rug generation. No, no, don't. Yeah, you got to still go to Thanksgiving even though Uncle Bobby touched you as a kid. Just pretend like no, no, that's what we
No,
not about to do. How
I,
about if
I
Uncle
I'm
Bobby's gonna
tired.
be there for my piece? I'm not gonna be there. Okay, I'm gonna have
Exactly.
Thanksgiving. What?
Because
I was trying to think of a more eloquently way of saying that, but no, for the sake of my peace, I do have to stay away from the toxic people who trigger me if that's part of my wellness journey.
it is. It is. And you know that though, we have people that don't. And that's
Yes,
the reason why we're here
yes.
having this
Answer, yes,
conversation so people
yes,
can understand that those things are not okay.
yes.
I was
Answer,
talking to
remind them they're not
someone
alone.
and I was talking to someone and they were like, "Oh, well, that's their mom. They still shouldn't be that way. It's their mom." That just because it's their mom don't make it okay. And now let me also say, with this new situation with this young man passing away, that spoke negativity in any and everything that he said, and people want us to feel sorry for the dude. Let's be clear.
Even the Bible says that you reap what you sow. Doesn't the Bible say that what sow we plant, so we reapeth? I'm mm, uh,
I'm just
I was
saying, I'm
I
just
was in quiet too, but I was the voice that hid behind the stronger voices because I was just there because all
Right.
my friends was there.
Yeah, that was a place to be though, good plan.
Yes,
But
yes. But
understand, you guys, these conversations we need to continue to have.
we will reap whatever we sow, and we have to atone for whatever harm we have placed on someone else.
Mm-hmm. But
We,
that's the reason why the understanding of ACEs needs to be brought up.
and the media, it needs to be everywhere. Everywhere. ACEs needs to be everywhere because all of that together is really about healing and helping people reclaim their balance, their joy, and their voice
And
for
you said it.
everyone.
You said it. You even closed your eyes. So, Miss Healing Strategist, what are some of your healing strategies, habits, or support systems that have helped you on your path?
I love to take a moment of pause often. I close my eyes and meditate often, so you probably saw me doing that because
As you should.
yeah, and that again started in the classroom playing white noise. Just I don't know if you can hear now. I'm playing ocean sounds. I've been
Hmm.
playing them all evening. Um, I sleep. I don't know why people don't add this to their practice, but you need to allow your brain to stop thinking about the things that stress you, stop thinking about the things that worry you, stop thinking about the things that are ailing this world because it is causing you stress and undue harm
Hmm.
to your psyche and your subconscious. And
Hmm.
so if my body is tired and I'm just, kapoom, I take a nap. And I love nap ministry. I like that whole movement of rest is resistance. Yes, it is. Because the backbone of the country has been on us forever. And I don't care what you're saying. If 15 minutes is going to do me good,
Yeah.
especially after I passed the age of 30, I realized my body wasn't the same. And I was like, oh, I need to sleep. So sleep is essential.
Yeah.
And of course, I eat healthy things, nourishing things. I tell myself affirmations. I chant often. I
Hmm.
am praying often. You know, the act of faith requires you to believe what you haven't seen yet. So, but you still got to speak it though. You still have to tell yourself.
Right.
You still have to tell yourself. A plethora of things get me through the day. And
Hmm.
again, I'm realizing that as I evolve, as I grow, as I learn new things, better things help during different times. And right now, walking in nature with no other sound, just me and the soundtrack of Mother Nature and the universe is all I need these days just to bring me to a place of center and calm where I'm not harming my inner child and bringing up past traumas that were buried
Hmm.
or at least I thought they were, right? And
Hmm.
so because cycles always repeat themselves and we go through patterns and journeys right now, all of those things in combination have been helpful, and I can't deny that community has been great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Inviting my friends over so that we can have a glass of wine and talk
Yeah.
about what things are we releasing,
Yep.
what am I needing accountability for as I work through this release, because it is hard,
Yeah.
trying to live with your in relation to yourself and in relation to others while still being a whole human. So
Yeah.
that is what I am doing to continue this. And like I said, my
It's
wellness journey hasn't been
working.
cookie cutter, so
It's
yeah.
working though. Look at you. Look at all the things. I think because I know your story, and again, I can't tell your story. And when I tell you, you all, when I mean stuck, you all will see her trust me because she is the reason why I've had to change it from Be Victorious with Dr. Torie to Be Victorious Educational Services. Because again, there has been so many wonderful things that have happened because of ACEs awareness. Like really, Quinn been one this has had this voice forever. So
Yes.
just to be in the same room to support, to help, you guys have to understand. I swear I was not, this name was given to me. Dr. Victorious is a name that was given to me because I do create
Yes.
victory in other people.
Yes.
I met Quinn through someone else. When I tell you, he said y'all have to meet, y'all act just alike. I know how y'all are. Y'all aces is actually y'all strength. Like
Yes. It's
new,
our
like
superpower.
it's he knew. And so I know her story and I know her value and I know how she is growing. You guys have to understand this ACE method works.
Yes.
I was not a dissertation coach at all. I promise it was me
Until you
going
were.
through and until I was. And it's funny because to this day, I always get the reputable reputation of being it was during COVID. I was that African American female. That was me on that billboard, the one that got her degree. And it inspired a whole bunch of people to go back to school to get their degree. So I hold the title as dissertation coach and love it because look at how many people have been impacted. Look at how
Yeah.
they're changing the voice and narrating and putting aces into everything.
Yeah.
And all I'm doing is spreading awareness. All I'm doing is putting it out there so people can understand and know that this does not have to be the end. Look at how you just poured and told us all the wonderful practices, the holistic approaches, the natural things, the self-care that people really aren't doing. They're not taking care of themselves when they have to. You
You only get one
guys,
body.
you don't do that, your body's going to be affected. So I'm not just out here just trying to get a number of people to understand ACEs. I'm trying to save lives for real.
Yes. And do so it's always been my life's mission to do the things I once thought unimaginable and impossible.
Hmm.
And this was one of them. And to see that, like you said, ACEs become my superpower because I thought doing the things that I'm doing right now would be impossible because of my ACEs,
Hmm.
but it's possible because of my ACEs.
Exactly.
Even more extraordinary. It puts a fire inside of me. And I really do hope one thing I wish that people understood about childhood trauma and ACEs. And I'm looking at my Kleenex because I feel like I'm about to cry and I'm just going to try not to do that. But is that it doesn't just fade over time. It doesn't just fade with age. Unless you're doing the work like we're doing right now to heal that inner child, to
Yep.
free yourself, to live in your fullness, in your being, in your body, in your everything.
Yep.
No matter where you go in the world, you're going to take you with you. You only get one body, which is why, YOLO was my thing before Drake came out with it because you only got one life.
Yep.
And part of my traumas was possibly getting that life taken away from me.
Hmm.
And the moment that didn't happen, I
Hmm.
felt like I got a second life and
Hmm.
I never looked back. I created bucket lists and here we are. And so
Hmm.
if we could understand that it doesn't fade with age, with time, it shapes how we see ourselves, how we move through the world, and even how we love, how we relate or parent.
Hmm.
As a teacher and a family member, I just saw too often dismissing it, compartmentalizing it, and just hoping to be a whole healthy person in any relationship didn't work out
Mm.
because you weren't whole and healthy for yourself. And
Right.
so I needed to start it with me. And I just challenge everyone listening, everyone watching to really take it serious. Find out all you can about your ACEs because it's unique to you, it's personal. And it's liberating when you finally decide within yourself that your healing trumps everything.
Mhm.
Everything.
And you all do not understand what we are about to create. I think it's humbling for me because it was handed to me on a silver platter. Let's be clear. It was this young lady, Quinn, has done all ALL of the work already and has asked me to help. And when I tell you the project that I have been talking about, this is it. I'm humbled when I tell you she gets to implement. It's a humbling thing to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to be a part of the team.
Yeah.
Y'all know how we operate and y'all know how we get down. And when I tell you I'm the person that's going to
Yeah.
hold this young lady accountable. It's humbling
From
because
the rooter to the tutor, the
yeah,
center of
it's
everything.
gonna be
I'm
great
excited.
because you've
I'm
seen the
excited.
community already. I got included into the community that she already has. You guys, I have to shout out little doggy. And they know who he is. They know little brother. They call him a preacher because when he gets in and gets on them panels and had them conversations, he goes all
Yeah.
the way in. So shout out to future Dr. Michael Davis,
Yes.
who is doing his thing. You guys
Yes.
already know we are out here in the community having the
Yeah.
conversation and doing what we need to do in order to bring awareness to ACEs. So where can people find you? Because again, you do a lot. Tell
Hmm.
us where they can find you.
You can find me at Synergy Oasis on any social media hashtag. You can also find me at OTWV_pod. Also just OTWV for the podcast. And Oasis Academy has a hashtag as well. That's OA Academy, and the foundation has one. You'll find that also in the bio, Oasis Academy Foundation. And yeah, I
I'm
also
never
have
gonna be able
Educate.
to leave Chicago, y'all. I'm
Sorry,
never
I
gonna
have to
be
put in
able.
a plug for the Educate and Excel Wellness Conference for educators and all of my support staff and teachers who are in the schools. That's October 25th on Zoom. You can find your ticket at teachandtaketime, the number 4u.com. Again, that's teachandtaketime, the number 4, the letter u.com. And
Right.
I just want to thank you for letting me be in this space. It has been very liberating for me. My
Um,
healing just hasn't been about surviving, it's been about releasing and what I once held back.
yes,
And I feel like I'm stepping into my full voice and my
yes,
joy and my purpose.
yes.
And when I
I'm
think
glad you
about what
see
we're
me.
gonna do, I'm just,
Yes.
yeah.
I'm just glad that you see me. You know what I mean? Like it's humbling. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it's one thing to hear it, one thing to see it, but then you like meet people that's like, nah, I want you because
Yeah.
I know what you have done. It's like I have, but that imposter syndrome is real. And once you understand what ACEs is and understand who you are, that confidence level will go all the way up, baby girl. So that's what we gonna do together because
Yes.
we got work that
I
we
am
have.
looking for the glow up. I am
Oh,
so
it's gonna
looking forward
happen.
to it.
So
Yes.
let me let people know. Here's another episode of Be Victorious. What's interesting is she does have a podcast, and you all will see us doing some things together.
Yes.
And with that being said, another episode of Be Victorious. We thank you guys so much. You know where to find me everywhere. Any questions or concerns, find me at BeVicTORIEus.com. Have a great day, you guys. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye for now.